why don't you think more college wrestlers do content or post on social media? Do you think has to do with the culture?
Culture is a big thing. Probably yeah, probably maybe like the embarrassment factor, but I would even say a bigger factor was it takes so much time. Like if you want to be like elite of the elite and just like locked in, like there's no time to be, editing your content and thinking about like maybe all these like different things. Like it's a lot of work. I mean, like you guys know, like running content, I mean, like you need a team behind you and you got to be sacrificing different things for that. It's just it's something else that you basically have to train for too. So
what for you are some keys to managing your time, and how do you set it up?
So thankfully, like for me in season, I'm really I would say fortunate that I can manage creating like one big video a week, which is basically like a duel or a tournament. And I've done this so long now that the edits that would have taken me 8 hours to do, I can basically do in, 2 hours, because it feels so repetitive to me. I know exactly what to do. And I think other than that, I almost think like you just have to master editing and know exactly what you need to do to manage. So like I would edit my whole long form video, maybe takes two and a half hours. Then I would think about, all right, I got to make a reel for this now. And so it's basically like a checklist. That's kind of what I have like every week. Like, okay, I have this vlog for this duel. I need to make, 3 clips maybe from it that just makes sense. And as soon as I just get it done, I just, space it out across the week, and then I don't have to worry about it. But I get everything done pretty early in the week. So it's away from competition time. Cause everything's not like real time when I post it. It's, kind of farther in advance, but that's kind of how I do it.
You do everything? Like you don't have team or editors or?
Nope, I basically do everything.
Bro, yeah. I have like 2 editors that I post like once a
day. Dude, I'm telling you, it's a lot of work.
It's so much work.
And I've done this for maybe I think 7 going on 8 years, and it's literally like riding a bike. The more you do it, the more you know what it takes. But again, it's like it takes a lot of time regardless. I do think delegating will be a bigger factor, especially in the next upcoming years of what I plan to do. But that's a whole nother challenge too. Like, I don't know how to hire guys and to especially like manage people and doing all that thing. It's tough.
Dude, it's one of the hardest things that I've had to try and do, because we're starting to get to a point where it's like, all right, I need to be able to delegate tasks. And it's like a whole different animal, because there's a difference between being a creative and content creator and then a businessman. And you're like, how on earth do you merge these two together? And obviously there's other creators that have done it and have been super successful, but a lot of these guys, top guys, besides some of like the bigger channels like Mr. Beast, like I think Ryan Trahan maybe has 4 employees, which is crazy. And he has insane videos. Oh yeah.
That really puts things in perspective too. Like, especially like, Ryan, he's like the I think Mr. Beast calls him like the budget Mr. Beast, right? And it's crazy how some of those different people operate their businesses. And I don't think there's necessarily a wrong way. It just, you got to be profitable. I think that's a big thing with delegating. I don't know. It's just, I don't even know what I'd be getting myself into at that point.
Let's dive into this a little more. So you have obviously a very entrepreneurial spirit. You mentioned kind of taking on some challenges and in high school, and what kind of got you into that? You mentioned you worked a masonry job, didn't want to work for somebody else. Was there anything else that motivated you to kind of like be interested in business?
Yeah, I mean, so I also worked in like excuse me, I worked in like other landscaping too. And let's say when I was like pulling weeds, I would be like always listening to like a podcast, and it would be like literally like a book, like an audiobook. And then I got like hooked onto like self-help, like audiobooks and other like CEO interviews. And I just remember listening to their advice, and just, I think, it's just like who you spend the time around the most. You basically are like the average of the, the top 5 people. And I spent so much time with successful individuals, like through my ears of listening to what they would do as if they were younger, how they managed to progress. And something about that, I was like, I hate doing what I'm doing right now. And I want to be able to kind of do my own thing. And I think just over time, learning from my failures of whatever business it was, if I was, lawn mowing, or, if I was, trying to do like the Amazon thing, or I'm trying to like do these get rich quick investment things. And, I figured out that I wanted to do YouTube, and I just started watching the YouTubers who would share, YouTube advice and, try to copy what they're doing. So I think it was just like a lot of learning from higher individuals that I kind of looked up to.
How long was it before you started getting some real like traction with the content?
Yeah. So I would say my senior year of high school, I had just about 60,000 subscribers at the time on YouTube, which, excuse me, it wasn't like anything crazy to what it is now, but at the time it was like pretty big. And
that's more than we have.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sorry, but
it was like 60K. It was like just trash.
I could imagine if I had 60K right now. Like that would suck.
I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't know if you were gonna be able to keep it cool when he mentioned all your top favorite YouTubers.
I mean, we get it. We get
it. But I would say after that, so that was like my state series that I released. And I remember premiering, because, you can have the premiere option on YouTube, and you can basically watch it like live with people. And I remember inviting some of my teammates over to watch this video, because this was like the finale. This is when I won state. I was so excited. Everything was coming together. And before the video started, we had 1,300 people premiering for the YouTube. And I'm like,
wow,
wait, there's 1,300. Like, I'm sitting here with 7 people in a room, and I'm like, this is insane.
That's crazy.
And I'm sitting there and I'm seeing like the number go up. It's like 100, 200, 800, 1,300 people. I'm like, what is going on? Like, there's over 1,000 people live that are curious, or like, fans of, they basically watch my whole journey, throughout the past couple of years in high school. And I just felt so, blessed. I'm just getting like chills just thinking about how crazy that was. And, maybe to be a source of inspiration or motivation in their careers. And that was a moment that I'm like, man, this is like, I think I'm onto something right now. So
yeah, that's awesome. So that seemed like kind of like the kickoff, but what other big moments like from there to now do you feel like stand out in your mind?
Man, I mean, I would say when I knew from early on that I wanted to do content, and it had to work out. I don't really give myself another option. I kind of, not that I burnt the bridge, but I know regardless that I was going to find a way to make it work, whether that be in wrestling or whether that be in something else down the road. I think when I reached out to Spencer Lee to do a collab, this was my first ever like time reaching out, to anyone. And I reached out to him initially, and just, kind of no interest, but he did respond. So I was like he responded. I think that's still a win. Couple months later.
So he responded and said no?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That is.
But he did reply, so that's
but he did reply. That was very rare. I don't know what my numbers were at this time. This was like the summer before I went to college.
Okay.
And
it was like 60K subscribers. Yeah, right.
Who are you? Like I asked to film like a workout video with him, because I think this is when he had like a clip go viral of him doing like one arm pull-ups or something like that. So, couple months later, he reaches back out. Wow. I believe. I'm not 100% because this was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, like we got to make it work. So like, I think it was literally the next day, I'm getting ready to go and drive, 4 or 5 hours down to Iowa, to a place I've never been to film a video, which I don't think I'm prepared for, but I just, kind of work my way in. And, my buddy Crosby, who was my teammate throughout high school, and, my roommate here, teammate of course, like for my whole life, basically. he was sick, so he couldn't film.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, what? Like, I don't have anyone to film. I end up calling my my younger brother's friend to come film. I don't think he's ever held a camera in his life, but we figured it out. So like there were so many things going against this process, but you know, we get to Spencer, to his house, and it was just such an amazing experience to really like not only just because it's Spencer Lee, but to really collab with someone that maybe kind of like sees your vision that you necessarily don't even 100% see yourself. And, you know, throughout that, you know, next day, week, we got the content, and now that video is one of my most viewed videos. And people still today like would like bring up that video and how cool that was. And I haven't necessarily done anything that I would say like creative in a way that I would like to, because I've been focused so much on competition. But you know, that video is like over 500,000 views. I've had like 5 clips from that video get over 1 million views on different platforms, and
wow.
you know, it was so like crazy that like I'm just like a kid right out of high school that just randomly had this idea, and Spencer agreed to it, and next thing you know, it's actually making an impact.
Wow,
Dang.
that's crazy that one piece of content did that. Is that your most viewed video ever? Did you say that?
No. So it's not the most viewed long form video is like me teaching pins with Crosby in like short shorts, like just weird, just showing top 5 pins. But a lot of people on YouTube. So this is one of the tips at the time. It was like SEO on YouTube, right? And everybody would look up like top wrestling moves, top 5 wrestling moves. And so that series is like my most popular series I did early on in high school. And, you know, those get views over time because those are kind of evergreen videos.
Got it. If you guys like that clip, check out the whole podcast here and make sure to hit that subscribe button.